I'm Stephanie from Rearview Rhonda.
And I'm David from The Devil in Us.
We're excited to share the noise coming out of this town.
This is Noise and Nonsense, a podcast about the bands playing your favorite house shows, DIY venues, or melting faces at the local bar down the street.
These are the bands you should know, the ones killing it locally in rock, punk, metal, all local, all killer.
Support your local scene.
Let's dive in. Welcome back to Noise and Nonsense. I'm Stephanie here with David, and today we're sitting down with Jason, the lead bass player of Off-Nominal, a three-piece instrumental prog metal post-rock band that recently moved from Indy to Bloomington.
Off-Nominal is known for their heavy, loud, and intricate sound. No vocals, just pure instrumental storytelling. They released their debut album, Off-Nominal, in 2023, and most recently live at the Black Circle. Today we'll talk with Jason about the band's journey, the new Bloomington music scene, and a house venue they're starting right here in town.
Jason, thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, so how did Off-Nominal first come together?
Yeah, so we kind of came together out of the ashes of a different band. Our original drummer, Charlie, he and I had been playing in sort of a kind of grungy, punky band up in Indy. And that he and I decided to leave that project. I think we were just wanting to have an outlet to play some kind of weirder, more experimental music. So yeah, we decided that we'd keep, start a new project together. And then our guitarist, Nick, came on board. We actually knew his wife from work. So Charlie and our guitarist wife and I all worked together. Yeah, jammed with him a couple times, and it was just sort of a perfect fit right away. So yeah, did unfortunately decide to start a new project in 2020. That was not great timing. But yeah, so that's how we first came to be. And yeah, Charlie actually moved to France about a year ago, a little bit less than a year ago, and that's where our new drummer Gus came in, and yeah, moved back down here to Bloomington. So we're kind of split between the Indy and Bloomington areas now.
Okay.
Two good spots.
Yeah.
Where did the name Off-Nominal come from?
I'm really interested in one of my inspirations for the music is space, or kind of just like harsh environments of the bottom of the ocean, the vacuum of space. I think there's just something about that I'm drawn to, and so off-nominal is actually a aeronautics term that just means not nominal. Basically, something's messed up. So I first saw the term off-nominal when I was reading about like space accidents. It just kind of wormed its way in my brain, and sort of that like off the usual felt like it fit with what we were trying to do at the time.
Yeah, it's awesome. So yeah, speaking of being different, I mean, like instrumental music is a bold move. Was staying instrumental a choice, or did it just kind of happen?
It just kind of wormed its way in my brain, and yeah, sort of that like off the usual felt like it fit with what we were trying to do at the time.
More constricted without vocals, or that opens up a lot of writing more freedoms for y'all?
I think that it leads to more freedom. Like some of the songs that we write are that sort of verse chorus. There's just not a good way to have vocals in there. And there's plenty of bands that do that, like Dream Theater and Between the Buried and Me.
Yeah.
Just have, these long compositions that just kind of flow. And I like to write some songs like that too. And I feel like vocals can be a little more constraining in that way.
I can see that. Yeah. You have to follow more of a structure.
Yeah. Or at least if you don't want your vocalist to be mad at you.
Yeah.
We're doing what now?
Yeah. I was telling David right before you came in that I've it took me way too long in my life to realize it, but like I need music to like help me focus while I'm reading.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, well, you guys are definitely on that list
Nice.
of
Oh,
like
that's
music,
awesome.
because it's like I just need like some sort of like, rhythmic like music
Yeah.
going on in my head without vocals.
Definitely.
So I was like, this is fun. Now this is actually music I want to listen to.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. So you call yourself a lead bass? I noticed lead drums, lead
Yeah.
guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that actually, I'm pretty sure that that was Charlie that actually, our first drummer, who, when he was setting up our socials, put everyone as lead. And, it's obviously kind of tongue in cheek, but I think that it also does really like fit with what we do, where when we recorded our album, it was really important to all of us that just with like the mixing, that every instrument be really well represented, and that we didn't want it to feel like there was a star of the show, I guess.
Yeah.
I think especially in a lot of proggy instrumental music, it is always like the guitar and, shredding and the technicality. That's definitely not what we're going for with what we do.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, in listening, a lot of really fun bass lines. Like I think I mentioned, David and I are both bass players as well. So
Yeah. We have the Oops All Bassists episode today.
It's funny because, bassists stereotypically are behind the scenes. And, we're all here on a microphone.
So in your metrics for the podcast, can you see how many people just turned off the podcast after hearing that we're all bassists?
We can actually.
I thought they were bringing in the guitar player.
Right.
What's your bass setup like? What are you using are you using pedals? What's your amp, cab? What's your
many
actual
pedals.
axe?
Yeah. So what I play it's a Yamaha TRB 1004. I love that thing. I have been playing that since college. So I mean, it's like 15 plus years. That was the first like nice bass I bought. And I've just never felt any desire to switch. Yeah, it does what I need. And then I've got just a Fender 410 cab and a Hartkey, like solid state 500 watt little head that I use. And then big old pedal board.
Yeah.
It's pretty much full right now. I think I've got 10 or 11 different things on there.
Nice.
Yeah. What are your go-to effects?
One sound that I really love is taking a chorus effect and like dirtying it up. So like chorus I have Electro Harmonix micro bass synth pedal. I really like layering chorus with overdrive. Yep. It just gives this weird, I don't even really know how to describe it, but I really like that sound. So I love that micro synth pedal. And then lately I got a lo-fi pedal.
Okay.
Which is really cool. It's Chase Bliss Gen Loss version 2 for anyone who's like a gearhead out there, I guess. But that one's really fun, and I've actually been playing with using the lo-fi pedal to replace my chorus.
Okay.
Which I think is really cool because most chorus pedals give you that uniform, you can like set the speed, but it gives you that uniform kind of like wah, wah, wah.
Yeah.
And the lo-fi has more randomization in it. It doesn't just follow that pattern. It comes in and out and warbles. And I really like the sense of life that it gives the sound.
Yeah. What overdrive do you use to not lose like any like low end?
So I just got a new one that I'm still messing with. It's a Ranger FX Pole Focus. So Ranger's a little company out of the UK, and the Pole Focus is an overdrive, but it also, you can set the ramp speed, but as you sustain a note, it will ramp in either a reverb or a chorus under the overdrive. So that's what I've been playing with lately. Yeah, I'm really drawn to just like kind of weird pedals that do interesting things. Definitely not stuff you would usually see a bassist with, I think.
You should try the Earthquaker Device C machine.
Oh, what's that one?
So it's a chorus pedal. And I think it's chorus and delay kind of mixed, but
Okay.
I've been using it a lot, but it's real easy to get really wacky, really like quick.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to set it up to not be like we just recorded and the guy recording was like, this is good for live, but we're going to have to turn it way down for recording.
Yeah.
So it's like getting a little too wonky.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, honestly, even the fact that it kind of took a second to even describe what it does piqued my interest.
Yeah, because it's like you
not
can
just
all of a sudden be like, whoa, like doing all kinds of, and you're just like, what's happening? I just meant to turn this up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it has like animation and like depth and like multiple knobs to make multiple noises. So.
Yeah, I love that stuff, especially when there is almost like a element of randomness in the sound that comes out of it. I think that is fun in a live environment to, I don't know. You don't want it so crazy that it sounds bad, but it is fun to see like, well, I don't know, let's see what it does this time. And
How do y'all decide who's going to take the lead over a part? Is it kind of a feeling? Do you guys kind of talk that out, or?
No, it's so I write like the bass songs for us. So I'll write the songs and then like, bring it to the band. And there are times where, it's just feel that, we can add something here. But a lot of times I guess I kind of build it in as I'm writing. Like I'll send these files, like tabs and MIDI files, so they can all kind of hear what I'm working on. And I'll always have to point out like, hey, so at the minute 20 mark, when all of a sudden there's just no guitar, that's where you write a solo.
Yeah.
I do try to keep it like equitable, and I feel like it just kind of comes naturally, but it's usually kind of baked into the writing process.
Yep. So did you tab everything?
Yeah, I think it's probably kind of a weird way to write, honestly, but I would say that probably 60% at least of our writing is just me sitting at a computer working on Tux guitar.
Yep.
And like I might mess with my bass and find a riff, and it's like, oh, it's the start of something, and I'll tab out that riff, but then from there it's just like working on the computer, and the rest of the song just comes.
I'm the same way.
Okay.
I sit down with my bass and I'll like screw with something. Like, I love bass intros, so usually everything's like a bass intro. It starts with there. Not a lot carries over into the rest of the songs, but I'll sit there, and then once I come up with an idea, it's all tab after that, and I'll just sit there for hours working on one bar. Like, how can I make this interesting, and what are the right notes? And I'm limited in theory knowledge, so yeah. It's cool to meet someone that does the same thing.
Yeah, because it feels like it's not, and I might be totally off base, but it feels like that's not the typical method.
No, I don't think so at all.
Yeah.
When I tell people that, they're like, what?
Yeah, so no, it's,
I'm actually a little confused of what you guys are like talking about. Like when you say tab it, I'm like, well, I like write my music and write it in tab so I can remember it like a year later. But that's not what you're talking about.
No, I mostly like 75% of what I write is all tabbed. I use Guitar Pro, and it's just like a tabbing program. You can do musical notation as well, but I'm so slow at musical notation. But yeah, you can just write out what you want to do in there and get MIDI put out, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's really easy for the other band to learn, because now I don't have to remember it. I can remember my bass part and like, here's all the guitar part, here's everything, here's the whole song.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And you can even program like drums and stuff. I stopped doing that because I don't want to influence our drummer. I'm like, I'm not doing drums anymore because I don't want you to do what I'm doing in that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I do the same thing. I don't touch the drums. It's just, and it's cool because then a lot of times things happen that even if I had written drums, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yep. Yep. And the live drums, the drums interpretation from the drummer can change what you've tabbed out, and it comes in a whole new thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely have caused some, it can cause issues. Like, it's a cool way to do it, but since I don't play guitar and like also kind of some limited theory knowledge, I don't know what real chords are supposed to look like.
Yeah.
So I'll pick notes, and it's like, oh, these four notes sound cool together, and I like, it fits the song. And then I'll send the tabs over, and Nick, our guitarist, is just like, that hands don't work that way, my dude. Like, I can't play that chord. So we'll fiddle with them. or I'll write something that's like, man, that sounds really sweet. I cannot play that right now.
Yep.
But it does like pushes me to get better.
Yeah.
Yep. Sometimes I write impossible shit, but I just work at it, and then eventually I write it, and then I'll bring it to the band. They're like, what is this? I can't play this. I'm like, I couldn't either, but now I can. So.
Mine's more timing. I realize like I'll write something, they'll be like, you just like switched like timing like halfway in this song, and I'm like, but it sounds cool, and they're like, it does, but it's hard to play. And I'm like, I don't know, it sounded good up here.
You just gotta feel it, man.
I mean, we do it, we manage, but
you can count everything in 4/4 if you're not a nerd.
Because so much of our stuff is not 4/4.
No, I think everything in my head is 4/4, and then it's like they're like, that's not 4/4, and I'm like, it is up here, like it works. Yeah. So can you give us a favorite bass moment on your album?
I think. I mean, there's a couple that I really like. I guess
we're not limiting you to one. Like you can just you can give them
if you
all.
name more than one, you have to leave the podcast. No, I mean, I guess the first one that jumped to mind is the last song on our album, Liquid Chrome. I think I love that whole song. Like it's one of my favorites of our songs in general, but I'm especially proud of the bass parts on that one because it does have a couple little solo moments. I like Shock a lot too because it's got a fun little tapping bit in it. There's a part in that song too I also like because it's one of those moments where I feel like when you listen to the song, it doesn't maybe sound super complicated, but when we're playing it, it's a lot more complicated. It's kind of right after that tapping part, I think, but there's this like back and forth between the guitar and the bass. But that whole song's always a lot of fun to play too.
So your debut album came out in 2023. You recorded this with past, future, present guest Tucker at Mega Dungeon.
Yeah.
How was that recording process like for y'all?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. That's actually the first like real album that I've recorded with any project. So it was really cool. It was definitely, a learning experience, I think. Yeah, I mean, I've known Tucker since like the good old days, like the Rhinos.
Oh yeah.
Like metal scene.
Yep.
And so it felt super. I was really glad we got to work with him, because we got to that point where we were kind of shopping around. There's a band up in Indy called Milk Toast, and they had just released an album called Caterwaul that Tucker had done. We listened to that, and then I realized, I know who did this. It was perfect being able to reconnect with him, work with someone that I knew from way back when, and he did a great job.
Yeah, Tucker's great. Do you have a track off that feels like this is Off-Nominal?
Yeah. I think I probably would say Shock is kind of like runs the gamut of like just about everything we do. It's got a lot of like dynamics in it, weird time signatures. There's a big like 7/8/5/8 section in there. But I think that like, even though we really like, we like to experiment and play weird time signatures and do proggy stuff, I feel like we still stay pretty like accessible. Kind of going back to that, like we don't want it to just be another Animals as Leaders or that kind of band where it's just like, I mean, I love Animals, but like that's just not what we're doing. Where it's just, look how many notes I play. Yep. Because Shock starts with this big, like unison in your face riff, and so I think that one has all the hallmarks of our sound. Sounds kind of weird to say sometimes, like the Off-Nominal sound, but I think that one hits a lot of our big kind of points.
Cool. Tell us about Live at the Black Circle. Does playing live change your sound compared to like studio?
A little bit, I think so. I think mostly just, in two ways. One, like our effects are a little bit different. Like there's definitely some different things that I do live from the studio just because a lot of my gear is different from when we recorded. The other big difference is tempo. We play so much faster live.
Yeah. Those nerves get going.
Yeah, which I kind of like. Like I think that is something fun about it. We recorded that with Charlie, our first drummer, and that was part of the impetus was, to record something special with him on it before he moved. But we didn't just want to make it we did want it to be different from the record, like purposefully different. So like one of the songs, Falcon, we actually played a different version of the intro that's like way slower. I think we always just called it the shoegaze intro. So it's a little, more open, shoegazy vibe. We actually like put that together with the second half of Liquid Chrome. So I think on the album we titled that track Falcon Chrome or something like that. Yeah, there's like some little kind of improv bits. So yeah, we definitely wanted to capture that kind of live feel. We didn't want it to just be like, oh, it's cool, it's their album, but a little faster and the sound quality's different.
Yeah.
So that show was with your previous drummer as well, correct?
The Black Circle one?
Yes.
Yeah, that was with Charlie. Yeah.
So how does the transition to a new drummer really reshape the band, or kind of moving as usual?
Yeah, it's been interesting for sure, just because our current drummer, Gus, he and Charlie just have totally different backgrounds. So Charlie was definitely kind of more of a background in like marching band, going back to high school, but like marching band, so like lots of rudiments and that kind of stuff. And then more of like a hardcore metal drummer. I actually met Gus at South when we were there together. He was the drummer in the jazz band.
Okay.
Less of that like metal vernacular, which has been really, really cool just because it's a different way of playing, different sound. He's definitely been able to keep up. So even though it's a different kind of music, like that hasn't really impeded him or anything like that. But it is cool to hear like different interpretations from what my brain would normally think of like as someone who primarily listens to like heavier music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also kind of wild because I always just knew him as like the drummer from jazz band.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him and I don't remember why it came up, but he was like, until recently, I really considered myself a piano player. It's like,
Really?
I did drums, but I like wouldn't have called myself a drummer. So that was kind of wild.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I wish I could play is piano.
Oh, God.
Like efficiently.
I can barely handle 4 strings. I can't do 88 keys.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So since you were a indie-based band and transitioning to Bloomington or both, like, can you talk about how the Bloomington scene compares to the indie scene?
I can't speak to that too much right now, I feel like, because I'm so out of the loop with what's going on in Bloomington now. Because it has been a while since I've really been in the Bloomington music scene. I think the last Bloomington-based band I was in, we kind of fell apart in like 2014, 2015-ish. So yeah, I've been trying to kind of like educate myself on the Bloomington scene. Like I'll just pull up like show posters from venues here in town, like little DIY venues, and then also of course like the Bishop and established places like that. And I'll just see who's on the bill and just listen to them just to see like who's down there these days and what's going on. Because it feels really different from when I was still down here. Honestly, I think just because Rhinos isn't here anymore. Like that used to be such a hub for my Bloomington music world.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's when I first moved. It was Rhinos. We were playing and where the shows were.
It's also pretty fun bands there for sure. So tell us, you have this upcoming show on October 4th, and it's going to be at a new house venue that you all are starting?
Yeah. So it's at our drummer's place, and the name we're running with, I think, is the Spacement. Space Basement, yeah. Yeah, we just wanted to, I think, be able to have a little bit more control over like when and where we play and not have to rely so much on spamming bookers' emails, especially since we don't really have a presence in Bloomington right now. Trying to get the attention of, a place like the Bishop, can be challenging because they get so much, I'm sure. So yeah, we're putting on this show on October 4th, which I guess it's 3 days from when this will air. Yeah. So yeah, find us on Instagram, any of the bands. It's going to be us and Throne of Iron and The Devil Lettuce and Ritual Spell. So yeah, just a big night of heavy music, and we'll be taking donations at the door to benefit Indiana Legal Services. So yeah, we're really excited to be able to host and have some cool bands and do a little bit of good.
And I want to say a thank you to you. I know we've been trying to link up for like a year.
I think so, yeah. Just about.
And it just hasn't happened, but you have continued to reach out. And I just want to say thank you for not giving up on my non-responsive ass.
No, absolutely. I'm happy it is finally working out. And I know like we almost had a show, I think like back in April.
Yep.
And we just couldn't find a venue for it. And I think part of that frustration is why we're just like, well, we'll just do it ourselves, damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're supposed to play at Black Circle and they decided to have a rap concert on 420 instead.
Was that it?
Yeah,
I couldn't even remember.
That's exactly, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
They're like, we're gonna do rap instead. I was like, cool.
All right. Nah, I mean, I love Black Circle, but it's
so hard to get into there.
To get in there.
It is a cool little venue, though.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah. 20s David would love that place with his whole life. If I lived in the vicinity, of course. Well, that's about time. Do you have anything else you'd like to get into?
No, I don't think so. Thanks again for having me on. This was a lot of fun. Yeah, we've got the self-titled album on all the streamings and on Bandcamp, and got the Live at Black Circle kind of EP thing. So
cool.
Yeah, love for people to check it out, and hopefully you're listening to this close to when it releases, and if you want to come out and hang out,
check out Off-Nominal on Instagram for information on the flyer for the show October 4th. Message any of the bands for the location of the house venue. That was Jason from Off-Nominal, lead bass, loud riffs, and one of the bands shaping Bloomington's music scene right now.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in to Noise and Nonsense. Be sure to follow us for more conversations with the bands making noise in Indiana. Until next time, stay loud, stay weird.